Hi everyone, this is Lauren. I'm going to be grading your communication side of things for this class. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure you had as a resource is just a quick getting started guide for your eProjects. So again, you can log in with the eProjects link that is on the pinned discussion in Canvas. And if you have this particular example site saved, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's also this meta category. If you're logged out, this will say login. So you can log in from either of those places. So I just want to take you through a few different things. Okay, so right now, this is what the example site looks like. These are some of the assignments that you'll be getting over the course of the semester. They might not have these specific titles, but you'll have a page for most of your assignments. The ones that you don't have a page for are the simple memo assignments. So if it's a memo, it should be a post. And what this is going to do is just going to basically curate all of your posts right here. So the next time that I add a post, it'll get added to the top of the list. So all of your memos should be on this one page. You don't have to use the posts as your home page. We can change that. I'll show you how to do that in a second here. But one of the things that I wanted to point out is what you will need to do for your very first assignment, which is building this website to reflect your company. So let's talk about that for a second. So for this assignment, the first thing that you're going to do in class here is you're going to form your company. So that's sort of the part that you want to make sure you have all of those basics down before you get started actually developing this website. The next is the logo and letterhead. So for the logo, you can put it on your website, and you should put it on your website. And to do that, you just want to go to the Customize menu here at the top. There's lots of different ways you can customize your site and make it different, make it more specific to your company. One of the things is site identity. So once you build your logo, you can put it in right here. If you have a site icon, you might want to use the same logo, that sort of thing, you can put it in here. And what the site icon is just when you go to the top of your browser and there's the different tabs, some of the tabs have a little picture next to the title that shows you what it is. So for example, if you're in Gmail, it'll show you the Gmail icon. If you're in Canvas, it's got the little dotted circle icon that it has, that sort of thing. So if you want to use your logo for your site icon as well, that's fine. And then feel free to play around with the other stuff and really make this specific to what your site looks like, or your own business, I should say. The widgets, for those of you who maybe haven't done this before, these are these sidebar things. There's lots of different ones, so you don't have to keep these, first of all, if you think it's making your site look too cluttered, or if you just don't like what they have here, you can get rid of them. Here's the blog sidebar. And then you can also add some, so if there's something else that you want to add or anything like that, you can add them there. I'm going to get out of here. And then basically the other thing that we want to talk about is talking about the customization of your website. So the first thing is your website should have a company name. So that's here. Depending on your background picture, your theme, which we'll talk about in a second, that sort of thing, you might have to go in and change the font color, those sorts of things. So make sure that when you're looking at it, you can really read it, because you will know what it says, but you want to make sure that your customers and your investors know what it says too. Your company's line of business, so any products or services that you offer. So I have some stuff on our team, so you might want to put introductions there. Costing, price, and standards, I think that's where that's one of the assignments, but I'll build you guys your pages already, so all you'll have to do is rename the pages, and then you can add new ones if you want more stuff. Vision or mission statement, company values, information on how your company operates, and that sort of thing, and any other information. So right here you have our team, and you can do basically what you want with that in terms of introducing yourselves and that sort of thing. But for the rest of them, you're going to have to decide on what makes the most sense for your website in terms of how it's going to be organized. So these are your assignments from here to here. And if you think that adding a bunch more pages for every single thing is going to clutter it, then you might want to do something a little bit different. You might want to add one page that is a company overview and has all of this stuff. You might want to use a couple of post features that include these as memos, something like that. It's up to you, but make sure that you do have all of those things on there. To add a page, since these are your assignments right here, and you want to make sure that you have the our company assignment separate, you go up here and just hover over this new plus symbol. The reason you want to hover over it is if you click it, it just adds something, and you want to make sure you're adding what you want. So if you're adding a page, you want to come down here to Add Page. It's going to take you to this text editor, and let's just say we want to add something about the company vision and values. That sounds like a good page. You come down here, you write in your text. If you want to add pictures, you do add media, pictures or sound, add media. If you want to add say a Word document or a PDF, add document. If you end up adding slideshows and prezzies, come see me, because that gets a little bit more involved. You can also add YouTube. So if you have a YouTube link, you can put it in insert from URL and add that there. But otherwise, just your text, and then you'll have publish button. And then you have your page. Now, you'll notice that this page is not in the menu. Make sure that you're paying attention to how your menu is structured for your theme. We'll talk about that in 1 second. But for this one, you go to menus, and you want to make sure that you're clicking the page and adding it to the menu itself. Now, to reorganize the menu, let's say you really don't like how the pages just add on, all you have to do is click and drag. So there we go. So now this page comes right after our team. Now let's say you're thinking the menu is getting a little bit too cluttered. You want to do something to fix that. You can make submenus, clicking and dragging to the right. Let's put all the budget stuff under one. Maybe income statement stuff under here. You get the idea. But make sure that you're always clicking the blue buttons, Save Menu. So now, when we go back, you see these nice little chevrons under some of these. So this is what's going to make your submenus, okay? And anytime you want to edit a page, you can get to it by clicking that page, hitting Edit right here, hitting Edit right here, or you can hover over your site title and go to Dashboard, and then that will take you to this overview of your website, and you can get to pages, posts, your media from there. Okay? Now, the last couple things that I want to talk to you about are under here, sites in our network. So these are going to be your sites for the class. Once you guys tell me the names of your companies, I will change these so that it reflects them. But these are going to take you to the sites so you can look at each other's and kind of get an idea of what other teams are doing. But I want to go to a blank site for a second. Now, I have a home manufacturing business set up for the example for you guys, but clearly that is not going to be what everybody does. So again, here is where you want to go to Customize, Site Identity, change this from Group 1, definitely change this from just another eProject site, but Customize, is also where you can look at themes. So let's say you are a candy manufacturing company, something like that. This picture is clearly not going to work for you. And maybe you want something a little bit more fun than just the header picture and then this space down here. Works for a home manufacturing site. It's clean, it's neat, it's organized, but maybe you want something different. So you can click into the Customize toolbar. And again, this is where you're going to mess with the font, the colors, all of that. Header media is where you can put in a picture. I think for this one specifically, this theme specifically, 2017, you can add a video and that sort of thing. And you can change the theme here. So this brings you to all of the different themes that we have installed for WordPress for your eProjects. Now, one thing that I would caution you on is definitely get some stuff populated. So for example, if you are working on this, what I would say is make sure you change the name of the site and site identity to your company's name and change the tagline, and maybe get a couple of pages up about what products and services you use and let's say your mission statement. That's because all of these themes are a little bit different in terms of how much you have to customize and how things appear on the theme itself. And so what you don't want is to change the theme, be really excited about the theme, and then when you start populating stuff, you're disappointed. So get a couple things populated first and then change the theme and make sure it looks good and looks professional. The other thing is some of these require a lot more customization than others. So if you have something like this beautiful pro theme, you've got the header image here, you've got another image right here. Basically, those are the only things that you're going to need to customize. You can customize things like font color and some other stuff, but those are the only two things that you would really need to customize. Otherwise, it's a pretty streamlined theme, and that's fine. But if we go down here to Hitchcock, this is one that kind of aggravates people because you see what it looks like on this preview, but what people don't realize is that each of these little blocks that is on here with the pictures, that is a separate post, and then you have to go into the post and set a featured image. So basically, the more picture heavy any of these themes are, generally the more you'll have to kind of play with them. There are some themes that have a higher level of interactivity than others. So Blackbeard down here, when you scroll down, different elements of the theme appear. Relia is a really good one. In fact, I can show you, I can put in I'll put in our discussion forum a link to another site that I've made using Relia to give you a good example of what that looks like after it's been customized. But those two are ones that have higher levels of interactivity. They have moving bits, and they look really nice when you customize them. And customization isn't all that difficult for those two either. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, customizing things like Tesseract and Vantage takes a little bit more care and attention to detail. So it's just some things to think about. Definitely play with it. You can play with the pictures. You can add your own pictures and change things around that way. That sort of thing. So make sure that whatever you're doing in terms of customization, you really reflect what your company is going for, what your company wants to look like. Okay. Last thing that I will show you is just how to get to themes from your dashboard. So you might not like that screen and looking at it like that. So if you hover over your site title again, you can come down to themes, and it will give it to you in a little bit bigger of a screen, just so you can kind of have a little bit more space to look at it. So that's how you do all of those things. That's just going to be your getting started. Remember that any way you customize this to begin with, it doesn't have to stay that way for the entire semester. So maybe you guys get your website put together in a kind of preliminary fashion with kind of the bare basics for your company for this assignment. You do want to keep tweaking it as the semester goes along so that your final website is really indicative of your company and what you guys are about. But I am here to answer any questions related to eProjects, so don't hesitate to ask.